that we get our general meeting agenda approved, which I can also drop in the chat. But so to start, I guess I kind of try to organize our time together by asking for work plan updates, which I was like, what work plan? But if you don't, I mean, I would really appreciate it if everybody just like glanced at that before we have our meetings and ask themselves if it still looks accurate and if we're advancing the work that we need to advance. I mean, I feel as if our group has been really prolific and there's been a lot of movement. But it's just a good document to return to. And it's fine if it's a living document also, I mean, we did formally adopt it because it just made sense to do that. But if we need to make some amendments, we can. So that being said, oh, it still won't let Lucy in. So I think maybe the phone.
I saw that. Let me look and just make sure she's not in a waiting room or something. Did you see anything, Mary? I don't see anything.
Okay, I'm going to give her this column that I just found. Poor thing. That's real frustrating. Okay. So the biggest news that I have under like just the executive group's updates is that we did both interview and accept a new commissioner named Jack Mobius. I sent his application around to you all so that you could just take a peek and skim about him. You know, both Mari, Mandy, and I have been trying to stay on top of applications that come through, and very often we will not advance applications if the person doesn't at least live or work in the city of Minneapolis. And it's been surprising that people will apply from like outer suburbs and they want to be a part of the Minneapolis Arts Commission. And I always kind of am curious, like, if they don't live or work in Minneapolis, what their motivation is. Because I mean, maybe they're just like culturally very active or are artists and want to be a part of an appointed commission. But we kind of have made this informal criteria that's just something we want to uphold. And of course, always prioritizing BIPOC leadership. Unfortunately, just haven't received any applications, but I know that the Access team has been working on cultivating some really great people that might be interested down the road. So I appreciate the work that's happening there. But so just so you're aware, now Tina, I'm not sure if you want to just refresh the group's memory about like what the formal process. I think he was like approved today by some governing body, and then next week he has to like come in and do some form, but like, you know, take the oath and all that stuff, right?
Right. So he was approved by the BIHZ committee today. So next Friday he'll be officially approved by City Council, and then after that we will.
There she's here.
She's in the lobby. Okay. So after that, he'll have to do the oath and all of that before he can vote, or so he'll be ready to go by August meeting because he'll miss the oath and in the approval before our meeting next week. But he is planning to attend the meeting next week, so I was thinking we should add him to the agenda.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just, you know, and I think I might just, you know, also reach out to him and just make sure I'm not putting him on the spot, because I have a tendency to do that and then I feel bad later. But like that it would be so nice for us to just take a moment in our introduction. Wait a minute, Lucy, are you here?
Yeah, I am via phone.
Hi, thank you. I'm so sorry for your challenges with the Teams link, but yay that you're here. Welcome.
Yeah, glad to be here. And Tina, I don't know if I have to be approved to get in. I wasn't on the agenda email, so I don't know, but I couldn't get in. So, but we got it orally, verbally anyway. So.
Okay, I'll look into that, Lucy. I apologize. Yeah, I'll look into it because yes.
Yeah, I think we might have to just update our calendar invites and add Lucy, and maybe that will help. But at any rate, I'm glad you're here, and we're going to try to be brief this evening. I was just, Lucy, updating everyone that Jack Mobius is coming on the commission via application and interview process that we led, myself, Mandy, and Mari. And It's gonna be great.
What
So
a
next,
great resume he's got. Oh my God. That's
oh, no kidding. Yeah, I was
fantastic.
like another policy like wonder, like someone who's gonna. I'm like, woo, really beefing up in that. I'm so into it. So yeah, and he was really super nice to talk to and very engaged and seemed really enthusiastic and motivated. So I think he's going to be a powerfully valuable asset to the commission. So we're really excited to welcome him. So I'll.
Hey,
Go ahead.
hey, Joan.
Uh,
While we're talking about just the agenda with Lucy, it occurs to me that Tina did have a meeting where she got updated on future boards and commissions and virtual meetings, and maybe she should do a quick update tonight on that.
yes, and I'll have to look, but I think I included that in the general agenda. Double check.
The general agenda, but I think she should update you guys.
Tonight. Okay. All right. Well, why don't I just quick finish up my exec updates and then
Yeah.
Tina, if you want to just jump in, that'd be awesome. So again, I will ask Jack to introduce himself and do something similar to what Lucy did at our last meeting, just giving us, give him like 5 minutes to just kind of tell us a little bit about himself and what he's excited about and where he lives and works and whatever he wants to say. So the next thing is we still have this great big slate of open seats. So we're filling them slowly one by one, but we still have a pretty fair sized slate open. And so yeah, access, keep doing what you're doing, inviting people to come to meetings, making time to meet with people one-on-one in the community. Jeff, you've been just an incredible champion and doing so much, leading so much of that work on our behalf. So thank you. And, if ever I can be helpful at all, if anybody wants to know more, if they want to just, have a coffee in person or virtually or whatever, like I'll jump in and try to cultivate any relationships that I can. So don't be shy. And then I guess for next steps, I don't have anything really unique to provide except for that, we made kind of a promise that we weren't going to seat more commissioners until we increased our BIPOC leadership on our commission, and really took a look at some of the wards that we do not have representation. So just making sure that even if it takes us longer and we have to be a little of a slimmer team, it's just a priority that we need to uphold. So that's really all I have to say about next steps right now. And I would say probably the next time we meet, we might want to be talking about a possible retreat plan and how we're going to plan that. We might think executive might have to make like maybe an additional planning meeting to figure that out, but we'll see. That's what we've done in the past. So that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions about what this group is working on besides agenda setting? Okay. All right, Tina, if you want to update us about what you found out about what we can and cannot do in meetings, and then we'll move on to access updates. Okay.
Sure. So Casey sent out an email and said that I think I did forward it to Mac, but we will not be meeting in person before September 30th. So we're going to wait on any in-person meetings. I know that the Access Engagement was planning some possible in-person meetings at different locations. So I was talking to Mary about that as well. So, and we think that maybe our first in-person meeting should be in the new office building because we have all the technology there. I know that we want to get out into the community, but until we can figure out how we can record and allow people to view the meeting via internet or Teams or whatever, we have to get all of that figured out first. It's kind of a lot. I was kind of overwhelmed when I attended the meeting with it was a city attorney. So they were going over the do's and don'ts. And so, yeah, it's like, okay. So.
If I recall, that was Access's plan, I think, anyway, in September or somewhere thereabout, that we were going to meet at the public service building or something like that. I don't know. But
it wasn't going to be till November, I think.
Oh,
okay.
good.
Sorry,
okay.
But Maddie, wasn't there a meeting?
We wanted
an outdoor meeting in August.
Yeah, we wanted to try to do it on site. So that means we can't do that at all.
I think
during our meeting, but could. Okay.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
I'll double check with the clerk's office, but from that email that Casey sent out, it sounded like they wanted us to just wait until after September 30th for any in-person meetings. So, so yeah, I will find out for sure if we can just meet in the building and still allow people to access it that way, if that's okay, or if they just want us to wait, until October. So I'll confirm that, and hopefully I'll know by our meeting on next week.
Okay. I mean, we can pivot, and it would be kind of fun. We can have like a harvest themed bonfire October parking lot party if we need to.
Yeah, I could have a bonfire in my backyard too. We've got plenty of wood, unfortunately.
I like it. I like it. Sounds fun.
Yeah. Okay, Tina, anything else about that? And also too, is there any way that any of us can be like helpful for you as you navigate? I'm guessing the answer is no, but I don't want to assume that we can't. Like, can I be helpful with the facilitation pieces that you're going to be navigating with that? Or if you want to talk offline about that, and maybe one or a couple of us, when we do go back to in-person, shows up early and helps troubleshoot the technology and just get things ready and stuff like that. I don't know. Kind of thinking.
Well, or helping people find the room. We don't even know what room we're in. Tina, maybe we should reserve a room.
Right. And what do you think of that one? I know the one on the first floor is huge, I guess, but I haven't seen that one. But what do you think of maybe keeping it simple and keeping it on the first floor so we can figure all that out? But
Yeah, maybe 300.
okay.
If that's okay with Casey, I think that would be a good idea.
So September, right?
Or October, because they extended it until September. The mayor extended it until September 30th.
I gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, so October we would be looking to do in person.
Okay.
Maybe it would be a good idea for the October exec to come to the site
Sure.
and just kind of get ready for it.
Sure.
See what
That's a
it's
good
going to be
idea.
like.
That sounds good. That could be just a really nice practice run for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe reserve it for that time too, Tina?
Okay, the September exec.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or October exec, right? Because if we can't
Right.
do
October, yes,
Oh,
October
oh,
exec.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Good. Good idea. Anybody else have any questions for Tina about the in-person? I know this creates a hiccup for our access groups planning. So without further ado, what updates do you have? I know that we have a guest speaker coming. Do you want to just give us a quick summary about that, and then whatever you all are working on right now?
Yeah, sorry, did you say me?
Yeah.
I cut, okay.
It's okay,
Or
whoever.
do you want Jeff to do it? Okay. Well, yeah, Legacy Arts Group is going to come to Miko French, is the artistic director and founder of the Legacy Art Group. She's been a dancer and artist in the city her whole life. She actually graduated from North High School and then went on to Temple University and then came back when I was still teaching at North, and I was a guest teacher and then taught herself. So to her, she's super rooted in the Minneapolis community, and kind of the whole purpose of Legacy Arts is to push legacy for students, upcoming artists, and it's not just dance, it's spoken word, it's theater, it's all of the above. They were supposed to go to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival until the pandemic happened. So it's super youth and super community oriented. So she's going to come and I think she's going to have a student join her to help give a little 15 minutes? Is that what we allot?
That's what I have on the agenda. Is that what you
Okay.
think she wants? Or you want?
Yeah, I think that's great. I just want to make sure I give them the right amount. And I think that's what we gave last time.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so they'll come on and tell a little bit more about what they're doing, what they're planning, and how we can help, hopefully, as a city.
Fantastic. Great job, you guys. Thank you so much. I think this is one of the better.
It's Legacy Arts.
Legacy
Arts Group?
Yes, so I just
Yeah.
wanna, I'm checking to see if they're in the system, because I think, you know, like, we need to get these people in the system so they can get paid faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we had a question about that. So there is the 150 stipend for each of these groups that come. Because I know I did not mention that to Roho Collective. So if that's going to be the process and they're already in the system, I'll reach back
I
to.
can look right now, Jeff, to see if they're in the system.
Okay.
That'd be cool, Jeff. Hi, Lana. That'd be kind of fun for you to be able to let them know, like as a
Yeah.
thank you kind of follow up.
Yeah.
That would be super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then just addition, I know we were talking about August, and we had originally talked about going to Black Table Arts, but we're going to shift plans. I just wanted to meet with you guys to just ask those guys to call in. So that's TBD for what we want to do for August. We're still working on September. And then we have somebody for October, and we'll have to determine if we still want that to be at their place, or do we want to do this in person? But I think we got a little bit of time to kind of discuss that.
Great.
And that group was email, All My Relations Gallery. That we're thinking about that for October. And then just to remind folks, November was we were thinking about coming to the city space and having an artist panel that was separate from our commission meeting. So we still want to plan that. And in regards to that, we talked today that what we're going to do is do a survey out between July and August, where what we're really trying to do is just get artists' opinions of topics that we can talk to, and see if we can start to solicit artists for that November art panel. So that was the thinking on that. And Mandy, I'm just going to keep going if that's okay.
So both,
Yes, please.
I'm rambling here,
So-
but I'm on a roll. And then,
so both Legacy and Roho are not in the system. So can you guys work with Tina to get them to be suppliers so that they can get paid?
Yep, Tina, are there applications or forms they have to fill out, or is it just sending you their W-9?
Tina, do you know how to do this?
It's been a while. So I send them the supplier form, right? I provide that to Mandy and Jeff, correct? And then they send that back with the W-9. Is that still the process,
That's
Mary?
right.
And a direct deposit form.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
If you
bad.
can't,
Yeah.
if you can't find the paperwork, just call me tomorrow and I'll help you figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, if you send it to us, Tina, I'll absolutely get Legacy, because we're going to meet to talk and chat and make sure she's ready for the meeting. So I'll send it on to her then.
Okay.
I did it recently and it wasn't that bad. It's just like a one-page form with like your tax ID and some other things. So.
okay, good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think, Jeff, you're kind of what we said sort of previously about going back to in person and how it's kind of creating a little bit of a hiccup for us. It sounds as if we might want to trade October, November. Not to say that you have to do your panel meeting in October, but just because it'll be our first time going back in person in October, that we want to meet at the public building, the city building, just because we want to be able to troubleshoot the technology, because we'll be doing both virtual, I think, and in person. And so Is it possible? One thing that might be interesting about going to All My Relations in November is that is Indigenous Peoples Month. So they'll both be really busy, but there'll probably be a lot of activity for them to tell us about. So I don't know if that's a possibility, but something to think about.
Yeah, let me double check. I don't anticipate that being an issue, but let me just go back. But that's good feedback, and yeah, we'll definitely look into it.
Okay, and if we needed to look to either a separate date to do the artist panel, just kind of separate of our meetings, as I think some people had kind of said, I feel like I had heard that before. So not like attaching a meeting to the public art forum or to the public forum, like that's okay too. So maybe that frees up, it's just another engagement, but whatever. I mean, I think you guys can really think about that. I don't think we really understood when we were going to be able to get back in person. So that's, I appreciate that you guys have been doing a lot of advanced planning and getting people in the queue. Like that's what you have to do. So hopefully this doesn't create too much disruption, you know, and it'll be what it'll be.
No, it's good information. Yeah, we'll definitely take it. Mandy and I will definitely take it back to the group, and we'll work through it.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, I love that idea about November. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I do too.
I would just like to interject that I think, there will be a transition in all likelihood for the Arts Commission moving to the coordinator's office in January, right? And support for the Arts Commission. And so I'm guessing it will take the coordinator's office a little while to be able to give the Arts Commission the kind of support that Tina has been able to. So I would really encourage you to try to schedule the artist forum before the end of the year.
Okay.
Got it.
Otherwise, you might have to wait a while.
And I question, I mean, that just makes me think of a million other things, of course, but I question if we don't want to, like, exec maybe needs to kind of take on like a transition track of some kind, right? Like, if we're going to be moving and having different point people and all of this is going to, all of this change is coming, like, I think it seems to me either this group would navigate that from a leadership position, or we would encourage and delegate some kind of subcommittee. But I don't want to overthink it. I don't think we have to overthink it at the moment, but I'm just kind of mentioning it, like totally switching departments and direct reports and all that kind of stuff is kind of, that could be a lot to navigate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks for the updates about the speakers, and again, super huge, just big appreciation for bringing in these folks to for us to learn more about them. It's really exciting. And then Mandy, I don't know if you want to talk about vacancies. I kind of touched on it. We do have a new person coming, and we still have a big slate. But was there anything else that either you or Jeff wanted to add about anybody that you might be cultivating to apply or anything like that?
Yeah, Jeff actually could probably speak on it a little bit more because they were able to meet this morning and I was on a different phone call. So I think there's a couple pipelines that they're reaching out to, and I'll let him explain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Crystal's going to follow up with Nexus and board repair. I know we've done a little bit with board repair before, but we felt like we needed to re-engage those folks. So Crystal is on point to follow up on that. And then Tina, I just need to get to you. We just wanted to get a little bit, I know you've sent it to us before, but if I could just get it resent in terms of the list of the openings in their time slots, because I think there was some question amongst us in terms of are there year slots, 3-year slots, 6-month slots? So if offline, Tina, if you can get that to me or me and Mandy, then we'll take it to the rest of the group and then start to that'll help formulate our plan. So those are the two things we were talking. And yeah, we're super happy about the new person, and his application looked very strong. So
hey Jeff, I emailed you I emailed you the open seats that Tina had sent me being on the selection committee. I emailed that this afternoon. I'm not sure if you received that. I might not have replied all. I might have just replied to Crystal.
Okay.
But I do have that information, and all I
Okay,
need
cool.
is to clarify. I just need to clarify that, which I think we were having Jack fill seat 16. Does that sound right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we do have the most updated information. I emailed it, but let me know if you didn't get it, and I'll send it to you again.
Yeah, what time would you, was that at, okay,
It was
yeah,
after-
that 1:46 today?
Yeah, I think so. It was right after Crystal
Yep.
sent. Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Cool.
I didn't see
Awesome.
that, but okay, thank you. So that
Awesome.
box
Yeah.
is checked. Perfect. And I think that's it from our updates. And our-
That's not. That's fabulous. My goodness. Thank you so much. Awesome. And then, of course, I know we're going to be kind of, we'll repeat a lot of this when we meet, but it's nice to have these check-ins just to make sure.
Yep.
So I guess for the access group, you all can nominate whoever you want to deliver your updates next Wednesday. I know that you kind of move that around, so I'm open to whatever you want to do. I guess whoever is going to lead the meeting next week, we'll just need to know that so they know who to call on.
Got it.
All right, policy. Lana, you're just in time. So I will give you all a piece of intel that I had a conversation with Councilmember Goodman, who I think was a little bit reluctant in her approvals for the centralization of the arts across the enterprise. And her tone was as if she believes that this is going to go through. So she didn't just come right out and say that, but I guess that's what I'll say. Her tone was that she felt like this was going to happen. So,
You felt like that she herself was reluctant?
I think she has some reservations, maybe a little more reservations than some of the other council members that are in full support of the ordinance. So, so that's really interesting, just based on the,
Yeah.
the canvassing that we've been doing and the feedback that we've been getting. So I'm just sharing that with this group, sort of. I know this is a recorded meeting, but at the same time, like not for prime time, but it was an interesting little metric that I picked up on. But anyway, go ahead, Commissioner Aylesworth. Do you want to give us any updates about just the public hearing? You did a marvelous job, by the way, everybody.
Thanks. No, I really, I want to give big kudos to Lucy, who really orchestrated a lot of the language that was in the letter that we sent. I felt like we were in a much more positive position, having specific language to suggest. So I thought that was phenomenal. Like that was just the help that we needed. I'm just joining in, so I have some phone numbers. I'm not sure, Lucy, if you're on the call, but I will send you kudos too.
Hi, Lana. Thank you.
Hi.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. And, Ahava sent a nice note too. So it's good to know that other commissioners, on policy team in particular, were listening in or joining, like listening to a recording after. We had some really nice support, not just from NAF, but from 2 other guest speakers. So if anybody hasn't had a time to listen to it, I'd really encourage it, just because I think it's good intel into, the city, and to get the temperature of the support that there is present for this change. So glad to know that, council members may be getting on board when there may have been reservations. It seems like the tone from the community that we heard from was all very positive. So I felt like that was good work for our policy team. After the big canvassing effort, to actually have something tangible to put our focus on felt really good. So thank you for everybody's support along the way in making that happen. That's really the only word that I have is that, other than to say that it's still open for public comment until July 21st. So, we can continue to encourage friends and members of the community to vocalize their support, for the public record, to get that down. So, anybody, I don't know. I shared it on social media. It was literally the only thing I've done on social media in several years. So I can't say there's a mass pool of people following my non-activity. So I'm always really interested in other avenues to get this out too. I know, the socials and the computer world is slow for me. So if anybody else is fast on that, get that push out to your friends. If there's other opportunities for us to share word of mouth, or if other commissioners want to do so, the other public hearing is on the 21st, but it's literally like right before the vote. So I feel like the letter being sent on the earliest phase was the best way to position it. So that's the update. Anyone have anything to add? Lucy, did you want to add anything?
No, I just have a question, and maybe this is Lucy, maybe we got this already, but is there a link where I wasn't able to listen in on your comments on the hearing? Is there a link where I can do that? Or do I just go on the city website, or how does that work?
Hi, this is Gulgun.
Sorry.
This is Gulgun.
Hi, Golden.
Hi, I sent out the link on
Okay.
the ACCE newsletter. So if you're not signed up for the newsletter, go ahead and sign up for it. It's also, I believe it should be online, but definitely through the newsletter. It has the link to the presentation. There was also some media. There's a link to the Northeaster article, and a reminder and links for people to sign up should they wish to.
Okay, so it will show, there's a link to the hearing that already occurred as well.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
exactly.
Do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
We wanted to
good.
let people know the commentary that's already been made.
Great, thank you. I'll look into that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. And then Mary and I were able to just provide some really general updates to the Public Art Advisory Committee as well last week, which was nice. That's a big group of people that are very civically engaged, and do kick the tires on our public art investments. So that was a nice opportunity to be able to, it wasn't a really robust conversation, but we just shared like some stuff like that and just gave like a really high level overview. So that was good.
I have a question, Joan,
Sure.
on that. With you and Mary, is there still an opening for that?
There is an artist opening, Jeff.
Artist. Okay. And then if I have someone or have a group that has someone, how do what's the best way to proceed?
You can personally nominate them and connect them with me, and I'll tell them how to apply.
Got it.
Yay!
That would be awesome, Jeff. That would be great. That's a super cool group too. Like there's a lot of decisions that get made on that group. So that would be really cool if we got somebody new, and that'd be awesome. Thank you. Okay, so anything else? I think we're good kind of in the policy place. So the next item is just
I have a quick question.
Oh, sure.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
I
fine.
saw that myself and Danielle were on the agenda for the next meeting. Just kind of get a sense of what you would like for either she or I to present.
Well, I kind of held you over on there because we knew that we were going to be doing updates about the ordinance, and knowing that the vote is going to happen that day. You don't have to do a presentation. Certainly, I know Commissioner Aylesworth has been holding it down for policy group with updates and just leadership as the chair. So, but you're welcome to. It's kind of up to you, Gulgun, if you want to come and you want to give a synopsis of the what happened. If you don't, I think that I don't want to volunteer, Lana, but I know that that's something that policy is watching closely and would be happy to provide updates.
Maybe Lana, you and I can connect. I guess I don't know how that's going to go, and it's not knowing. I might be very busy with after action activities. So let's just connect, or maybe Danielle wishes to present instead. So I'll loop her back in.
Well, good. I just think given all of the work that the commission has done on advocating for this, it would be good if someone came and at least thanked them, didn't necessarily do a presentation, but just came and said, you guys, we really appreciate all of this, given that they really have supported the efforts behind the scenes to get the ordinance passed.
I will check in with Danielle so that one of us can respond. Again, not knowing what the day is going to deliver, I can't tell you right now who will be available, but I hear you, Mary, and of course we're all really appreciative of all the work the Commission's done to support this.
That's a great suggestion. Thank you, Mary, and thanks, Gilgun, for considering that. And I'll let you guys circle around. Again, I'm unfortunately not able to be at that meeting next week, so whoever is leading that meeting, I guess we'll just want to provide those updates too, when you can. Okay. All right. Otherwise, any other questions or comments about that? Okay. For public arts, just some updates is really kind of leads into the next item on the agenda, to be honest with you. There's just some process discussion that we need to have. I don't know that it's going to happen at our next general meeting, but I know that it's something that Mary and Mari and I have been working on, kind of just like having a more ironclad process with our consent agenda, and when you can pull something off consent, like giving that a little bit more process and deadline so that it's not disruptive. I guess I want to say that the past 2 months we have had items pulled off consent, and that has been a rewarding process for the most part, but it's also shown us that there's just some holes or gaps in that process, and it being a good one that we can describe easily so that you all know like what the expectations are. I think for right now, I would like to, as a placeholder, ask that everyone send a note to me directly, me and Mary preferably, if you are wanting to pull an item off of the consent agenda at least a day before the meeting. And I think we're going to have to get tighter than that. But for right now, just, day of meetings, pulling consent agenda items is really disruptive. So that would be helpful for right now.
I would also just I think we need to come up with some process for the commissioners who are panel members, because if they can't come to the meeting or they aren't comfortable speaking at the panel meeting and want to change the panel has a recommendation that's been forwarded, right? And so are you going to act on that? Or what is the process if they can't come to the meeting for raising concerns? Is it only at the commission meeting? I think that is. And then I think the other issue I think that's really important to discuss is if someone has a really big concern about an item on the agenda, then I think it's really important to have the full presentation before they raise their concerns. It's typically the way a consent agenda works is that if someone has a question or a comment, even a positive comment, it doesn't get pulled. But if someone is going to pull something because they want to advocate for not following the panel's recommendation, then the full presentation, I think, by staff should occur before there's discussion. Because for the commission to act without a presentation, I think is not fair to the panel.
I agree with that. And I think, I think there's also other things that are happening to try to make this process a better process. Mary is like,
I agree.
She's totally making sure that we have commissioners who are on our panels, who are, working across the lifetime of the planning of some of the bigger projects, especially the ones that have a lot of cultural implications or, we're clarifying, cultural resources. We're making that kind of a point with our public art committee that we, just like we ask a lot of questions around community engagement, that we ask the right questions around cultural resources and where that information is coming from, and making sure that it's, just it's solid. So the processes are improving all around,
Right. Yeah, I just think that it would be good to have a presentation, because not every commissioner read the packet and they were taking action on an item without the information.
I agree. So the next item, does anyone have any questions or comments about that?
I'd just like to thank Mary for her time and thought energy on this. I really appreciate you getting that email from you, Mary, with some of those questions outlined, because it's work that we do need to do moving forward, so we have a better outline for next time.
I think my question is do we bring this to the full commission right away, or do we have somebody like the policy committee digest it some and bring it together, bring it more fully thought through to a commission meeting?
I prefer the latter personally. I think that policy, I know that we just got through a major hump and there was a lot of work and involved in, so I don't want to just keep on being a super huge taskmaster, but at the same time, it's like, it makes sense that the policy committee would give a little bit of thought to the consent agenda process and take these considerations and maybe even draft a consent agenda policy and procedure for us, if it's not too, I mean, it doesn't have to be.
It's
really
not
super-
that much. We
Yeah.
need to add them in full favor. It should be digested before it comes to the full.
There's probably something on the web. I would also just be happy to come to the policy meeting and take notes and draft a policy based on what you say for you to review another time, so that we can kind of move it forward. I mean, I think it's really important part of the process.
Yeah.
Great.
Get clear on what we mean by this consent agenda.
That's really generous. That would probably be really awesome. And I think that'd be a good learning experience as well, I think. And I'm seeing you shaking your head, Lonnie. I think that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take it offline with Mary and find a time that we can all meet together for our next policy. Thank you for the offer.
Hey, very good. Okay. So let's see. I am getting texted. I'm having a little bit of an emergency with an artist. Nothing terrible, but I'm going to have to go pretty quickly. So I am going to drop our agenda into the chat. You should have a copy. This is really what we need to approve today. I know that we need to add the Legacy Art Groups and Tamiko French as the guest speaker. We will need to update whether or not Gulgun or Danielle or Lana are giving the update on the ordinance. And then I just have I didn't put a policy work plan update, although now that we just had that conversation, maybe we could just have you could touch on that and say we're gonna, be updating. So maybe we do add that to the agenda. Anybody else want to add anything here?
And we've confirmed that council member Fletcher will be part of the
I was
discussion.
going to ask Tina that. Tina, do you mind confirming if Steve is going to come or not? I know you talked to him about it last time and he put it off a month.
Sorry, I need to unmute. Yes, I will. I'll follow up with, was it Council President? It was Jenkins as well. Is that correct? Or was it just Fletcher?
I think Steve for sure wanted to come for sure, but wanted to offer the opportunity for Jenkins as well, because it's something that she's been advocating for a long time.
Okay.
So, yeah, do you mind doing that and circling back, Tina?
Yes, I will.
I appreciate it. All right. So I'm adding the policy update, clarifying the speaker. Does anybody want to lead next week's meeting? Do I got any volunteers?
Well, before you answer that, Tina, could you also just, when you confirm the council members, let me know, or the whole exec committee? I just want to make sure there were some people interested in coming to the meeting if they were there. Just to listen in.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry, John.
No, don't be. That's great, Jeff. That's cool. I mean, I'm kind of thinking maybe Keno's coming back, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's cool. We want to keep Keno coming. Good stuff. Okay. Any takers for leading the meeting next week?
Joan, I'll take your meeting.
Okay.
You're good. Take a time off. Send me all the scripts.
Yay.
I might call you and bug you about questions beforehand, but send it my way and I'll look it over.
Thank you so much. Fabulous. Thank you, Lana. I will send you everything I have. Tina, I think if we just want to get her, remember that packet of scripts you sent me? I can look for it and find that old email. of like the how you adjourn or how you start the meeting. There's a script, and then how you ask for the motion and all that kind of stuff. But I will put everything together neatly for you so that it's seamless. And thank you very much.
You're so kind. It's like a substitute teacher who has to do extra work just to be out, but I really appreciate it. So
No, it's not that tough. It's just, you know, kind of knowing, I just put like little highlighters on like, this is, you know, how we start the meeting. This is how we get it, you'll rock it. Thanks. All right. Big IOE one. Thank you. Okay. So with that, I think we are.
Hey, Joan, can I just confirm that you are finalizing the agenda with Tina though?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Tina, I'm going to send you an updated, like a revised draft tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. With that, does anybody have any other new business? All right. Okay. Thank you very much. I apologize for missing next week. I hope that we have great outcomes for everything that we are advancing. And as always, an absolute pleasure to work alongside you and all of the good work you're all advancing. It's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a nice
everybody.
rest of the week.
Thank you, Joan.
thanks.
See you soon.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.